Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to the monthly update, which happens every 3 months, I guess now. It's been so long, man, and I have so much news to talk about. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about officialpicks.com. They're running a little special right now where on July 23rd through the 26th, if you want to buy an 8x10 autograph from Shannon McRandle, the model who portrayed Mara Jade, 100% of those proceeds will go to her fund to help her fight cancer. As you know, she's been raising funds for her cancer treatment. So this is an excellent opportunity for fans. If you donated before, you can donate now, but you can actually get something in return. And if there's something maybe you want her to sign, if you have a little Mara Jade collectible, she will sign and autograph that for you. You just got to mail it in to Official Picks, and it has to be in before July 26th. And again, all proceeds go to her fight against cancer. So I think that is a win-win for fans. Definitely check that out, officialpicks.com. As for the Expanded Universe website that we kicked off in May, it has stalled, as you know, and I don't know what the problem is. I spoke to Chris. The last time I spoke to him was 1st of June. He's the one that runs the website, and I've sent him several emails and several communications. A bunch of you have said, hey Matt, I've submitted stories, but nothing's getting posted. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with Chris. Chris, if you're watching, please reach out to me. I hope everything's okay, but I am sorry that there hasn't been any new content for over a month now. And trust me, that is not what I wanted. So if I do actually reconnect with Chris, hopefully he's just busy and just hasn't had time to check his email or anything, but I'm hoping to get access myself so that we can keep it running, because there is a lot of great articles that I was enjoying on that site, and you were telling me some of your ideas that you were submitting. I was like, I'd love to read that too. So hopefully we can get things straightened out on that end and get the website rolling again. As for the article that I wrote and I kind of advertised last time, I'm going to post that on our Princes of the Universe Facebook page, and the one I wrote for July will be out maybe the week or so later. So anyway, be on the lookout for those two articles coming out on the Princes of the Universe Facebook page. And once I get a hold of Chris, and hopefully everything's all right, like I said, we'll keep going forward on the website, because I truly believe it's just an excellent, excellent opportunity for EU fans to just express their creativity, come out with, like I said, you were given some great articles, and I want to read more. Switching gears to our board game news now. In board game news, the first thing I wanted to talk about was I actually did a review for an old game that my dad owned called Fun Bowl Football, Bear Bryant's Fun Bowl Football. And I did it for the sole purpose of trying to find anyone out there in the internet who knew more about this game. Well, actually this past week, I actually got to talk to Susan, who is the daughter of the creator of the board game. And Susan gave me just a wonderful story. Her dad was named Brody McCrory, and he was a sports writer. And he became friends with Jim Scoggins, who was one of the assistant coaches under Bear Bryant at Alabama. And what had happened is they got together and they said, hey, let's make a Bear Bryant football game. And so they designed this board game, showed it to Bear Bryant, who approved it, said you can use my name and image on this. This is a great game. And they made 100 copies. But of those 100 copies, only 80 of them went out. And of those 80, probably not even half of those are even out there anymore. In fact, she told me that I kind of undervalued it. I said it would go for 100, 200, because that's the last time I saw it was going for about 200 bucks. But there was one on eBay that went for $500 recently. It is a very rare game. My dad has a very nice copy. I don't think he will sell it ever. You know, it's not about the money. He just loves the game, and he loves Alabama football, and Bear Bryant is Alabama. So, you know, he definitely wants to hold on to that game. But I kind of wonder, how much would the University of Alabama pay for to get a copy of that for their Bear Bryant museum? I think if they offered my dad season tickets, he would do that deal. He won't do it for money, but for Alabama season tickets, oh, I think Dad would probably part ways with that board game. But anyway, thank you so much, Susan, for talking to me over the phone and giving me the entire story. That was super, super interesting. And fun fact, her dad retired here in Monroe, Louisiana. He passed away in '93, but and we moved here in '89. So we were actually living in the same town. Not only that, but the church that he attended, he and his wife passed away, I think, 2 years ago. And it's really weird because the church that they attended is like just 3 miles down the road from where I live. In fact, that pastor of that church was part of my board gaming group when he was at that church. So, I mean, it's just like, what? You know, it's a small, small world, folks. And so he was right there the whole time. But anyway, I was so happy to get the full story, and my dad was super pleased on that. And Susan, if you're watching, we think that my grandfather actually met your dad, because he said the guy was passing out the games, and my grandfather also worked at a newspaper. And so it's possible that they probably met at one time. So that's just a cool connection. I'm so happy I got the history and background of Funbo football, and I can't wait to share that on the Board Game Geek website. In other board game news, Twilight Creations Inc. came out with their Ultimate Zombie Collector's Edition box with like all 15 expansions with the base game. It comes with a bag of hearts, bag of bullets, all the different kinds of zombies, Dead Time Stories, a soundtrack. I mean, they just threw everything. It's like the kitchen sink. They threw everything zombies into that. Now, the price tag is pretty heavy at $275. But if you don't have zombies and you're thinking, I really want them all, but I don't know how to collect them, this is actually a good way. It would actually, I think I did the addition on it. It's actually cheaper to buy the big box, but not by too much. And man, that is a hefty, hefty price tag, but it's because there's like 14 expansions to the game. Oh, they also give you the expansion 6.66, which is create your own game. It's just blank tiles and blank cards. So they really do give you everything in this game. So for that reason, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm still hoping myself for a bag of zombie kids. Maybe it's more possible now, but who knows? The Ultimate Collections box is pretty cool. Like I said, if I didn't already have all the expansions, I would definitely consider buying it. A little bit high though, and I don't know what happened to their carrying case idea. If y'all remember months ago, I talked about they were promoting this big carrying case. Well, I kind of said ho-hum on it at first because I was just wanting to get to Zombies 15. But now thinking about it, man, these Zombies games take up, a lot of room on my board game shelf, and I want to condense that. So I really hope they still make plans to come out with that, even though last I heard they had done away with it. And of course, as you know, folks, they are not very giving on information. I mean, even when you ask a question, you're 50-50 on getting a response from them. So I love them, but they're really bad on communication on that. So hopefully the carrying case, or where you can fit everything in there, is still going on. Hopefully Martians 2 is coming out. They promised us again, right? But I told you it's not going to come out this year. I told you. So we'll see if I'm wrong. I'm not going to be wrong. Now let's get to my channel. Some of you saw that last weekend I posted us playing zombies live. That was a lot of my old gaming group was back together, and we just have fun playing zombies. And so we were laughing. They said, man, you should put this on your channel, because we were just having so much fun. I was like, yeah, hold on, let me get the camera. And so that was just impromptu, last minute. You can see the board a little bit, looking at the footage and everything, but it was just fun to do. There's a few of you who watched it live, so that was really awesome. If you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed the playthroughs, we may do some more of those. I've always wanted to do those where we're sitting at the table playing a game and you're watching it, but maybe focus more on the board than us. But we were just going crazy, That's how a board game night goes at my house. If you want to see it, that's almost how a board game night goes. There were 5 of us. One guy couldn't make it. He couldn't make it, so usually we have about 6 there, but it's a whole lot of fun. So if you got to watch that and you enjoyed it, awesome, thank you. And maybe we'll do more, because I'll be honest, that was a lot of fun to kind of let you into my house and see what goes on a weekend for board game night. Anyway, speaking of live stuff, we're going to do a live Q&A this coming Thursday. It's going to be either at 9 or 9:30. I have a prior engagement, and I don't know how long it'll take, but if I can get on at 9, I will. If I'm not on in time, just keep waiting. I'll be there. If I'm a little bit later, I'll make it go a little bit longer. But we're going to do a live Q&A. It's going to be, if you cannot make it, 9:30 Central Standard Time here in the U.S., then just leave your questions in the comments below, and of course I will make sure I will answer them. Now let me talk about our podcast. As you know, we announced this past week that the podcast will be going every other week. And that's for two reasons. One, I can't get a hold of the Saturday Morning Santa Flange guys. As you see, I was hanging out with CJ last night, and then I actually hung out with Mikey too yesterday too. So both of my co-hosts I see all the time, but we can't meet together. We've been having the hardest time meeting together. So I said, okay, we'll just do every other week for right now. It'll be easier for us to meet up. With Prince of the Universe, Bruce and I both have kind of busy schedules, conflicting schedules, so it's hard for us to get together. So that's another reason we're going to every other week. And I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to do this for the rest of the year right now, just to make it easy. And, once people start going, no, I want to do more every week, then we'll start ramping it back up to a weekly podcast. But on upcoming this month on the podcast, the missus will actually be on Saturday Morning Santa Flange. We'll be talking about our experiences at the Fanboy Expo and what fun and adventures we had there. Also on Prince of the Universe, everyone wants me to talk about the Han Solo movie. Okay, remember, I don't really care about the new canon and all the drama that's going on over there, but for Princes of the Universe, the next episode, Bruce and I are going to address all that. So don't even bother giving me any of those questions in the live Q&A, because right now I'm still reading up on a lot of what happened and forming my opinion. So I'll have no comment at the live Q&A, but hopefully by the time we get around to recording the next podcast, I'll have all the information there and I can speak more fully on it. I haven't been paying attention to it, so sorry. But anyway, that's what's coming up on the podcast. Now, as for the regular channel, tomorrow we're doing a board game review, Friday a Matt's Expanded Universe, and then business as usual for the rest of the month. Folks, I really miss doing these monthly updates. I'm going to try to keep doing them more often, and I will see you later on this week.